The council
schedule events.
has that in front of them. The only other thing I would, and you don't have to address this, I'll re-mention it, is the insurance. It's a vital part of the community event application.
Right, which that liquor license liability insurance is going to be through Moose, because they don't, it's not me.
We would have to
Yeah,
have.
and you guys would be named as additional insured, the same as we do with our liability insurance for the racing event itself.
When you apply with your application, there would have to be a binder included in that
Right.
for all that.
And as Mr. City Manager and I have talked about before, with the liability insurance for these type of events, it has that evil word racing in there, okay? Which means I buy that insurance about 2 weeks before the event. Now, we have given Mike the insurance policy that I don't get until about 60 days after the event. It's about that thick that tells you, oh, this is what you bought. So he's already got that with your name on it and everything with last year's date, but that binder and everything will be given to you, I'm going to get it to Mike, 2 weeks before the event. But because it's a racing event, the rates change.
Right.
I mean, sometimes I'm buying it for $950, next time I buy it, it's $1,300.
Absolutely, I'm just saying, we would want to make sure you have that binder in place.
Yes, at least 2 weeks before the event. That's when I can buy it. I can't buy it right now.
That's true.
I can buy it tomorrow and everything. They're going, we're not going to sell it to you because you're racing until February.
Because if we don't have that, we would have to prove a contingency on you providing us with a binder and all the above.
Not a problem. We don't have any problem with that. But like we're saying, when Mike and I talked about 2 weeks ago, I think is what it was, I just can't get my hands on.
Not a problem.
It's a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that they will email right to you.
Yep.
They'll email right to you as soon as my check clears. That's exactly how it works. So.
And that's what we need, for the manager to see.
Yeah, not a problem. But I just can't get it to you tomorrow.
Mr. McHugh, we're not expecting that.
Okay.
All today is a chance for me to show council what's coming to them next time.
Okay, I understand.
So I appreciate you being here. Obviously, you're a very colorful individual. And we expect this to be a great event. We just want to make sure all our ducks are lined up so the event goes off without a hitch.
Okay, very nice.
We appreciate your time.
I'm sure we will talk sometime between now and next time.
I'm sure, sir. Yes, sir.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Now, is it going to be just beer and wine, or going to be liquor too?
No, just beer. That's it. We found out that, we've been running the Hastings show, and once again, I'm trying to keep this brief. The Hastings show, we've been doing that for 20 years. And for years and years and years, I've had partners that were like, nope, we're not going to put it in a beer tent. It's way too much BS. It's way too much hassle. It ain't worth the time. Partners leave in 2010. In 2011, the very first thing I did was put in a beer tent. We found that the liquid AH, I'm going to put the AH out there, situation hit the basement as soon as I put that beer tent in there. Because as, Rose and I were talking about before, we're sitting back, and until you get this to happen, you don't know what the results are.
Right.
So we put this all in there and everything. What we found out is as they're standing alongside the fence, the average person that shows up doesn't sit a 30-pack down or whatever they got that day and sit there and he and his buddy race to the bottom of it. No, if you had a beer tent, let's go get this over here. Instead of drinking 15 of them, they drank 5. And we found it was better having the dang beer tent.
It's controlled.
Yes, exactly. The control is the whole thing that is. You're not throwing the fuel on the fire there. You're just, you're giving them something to, They didn't bring their own. That was the thing. And if they did, that 30-pack never hit the bottom. That was it. One of the best things that we did was the Moose Lodge actually had like a golf cart kiosk thing where they would, drive, through the golf cars. The golf carts. Everybody played golf before. Here comes the guy with the golf cart. If we took the beer to them, they bought that beer right there. They didn't sit there and keep, hey, I can drink them faster than you can. They waited for the golf cart to show up.
Yeah,
so it was a throttle. It slowed the thing down. And it was a hit, so it worked better.
So, Mr. McHugh, please be in contact with my office, and we'll proceed further from there.
Okie dokie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
20 inches of snow on ice day, right?
Yeah.
It still might be out there now.
Moving on, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So my 6-month probationary review is coming up in January. I will set it for the same date as the city council meeting. We will go into closed session. You will be able to discuss openly, orally, however you would like with me about my performance. But afterwards, I will provide your written evaluations to Ms. Newland, who will then, I guess, condense it and make a fair representation of what you have to say, and we will provide that fair representation to the public afterwards. I believe it's important for the public to know what their representatives think of my performance, and I don't have anything else to add to that. I have provided you with paper copies.
Yeah.
I also emailed it to you. I will happily provide you with additional paper copies. And I'm hoping to, by at least a week ahead of time, provide you with my own self-evaluation. That Mr. Mayor suggested to me that I do some self-reflection and maybe provide you guys with some insights as to what I think I need to improve upon.
Mr. Mayor, may I ask
Sounds
a question?
wonderful.
On the date of evaluation, do you want the date we fill it out? Do you want the date we're going to be giving it to him? Do you want
I would request,
January?
I think the year is the most important aspect of that.
2016?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or 2017, I guess, since it'll be January. But
2016, 17?
January-ish of 2017. That way, if I'm here for 20 years,
January,
I will know what year we're talking
Well,
about.
I can do it the day I fill it out, too. I didn't know.
make it a, you want them to send them all to me? You folks want to just?
I
surprise
thought
them at the
perhaps what
meeting?
you would do is hold on to them until closed session. That way you could use them as notes when you're, telling me what you think of me.
I told him historically, we'd given
Yeah.
it to you to compile, but it does.
Whatever the council's
I'm
pleasure.
open, whatever the council would prefer. Ms. Clark,
Run the option by me again?
either turn them all into me, or you have them here January 11th for the meeting.
Do you feel that you would like to see them before?
Not necessarily, that's totally the board's
He's
discretion.
just offering to collect them.
I guess we'll just bring our own.
I think that's appropriate.
Sounds good to me, too.
Okay, sounds that's where we'll head.
You just ask one thing,
Right, go ahead.
because we all have good memories, but when you send out the agenda packet for that, just put a reminder, hey, bring your.
Oh, I'm sure you will hear it multiple times. If I have to walk down to your store and provide you a third or fourth copy, yeah.
This is the second copy he's given me, so.
All right.
Mr. Mayor, may I suggest one other thing? Just throwing it out there, see if it sticks. Besides what you've already presented for the hearing, and for Manager Womack hearing, I'd like to have him present also to us what he sees for the future for Cedar Springs, what he thinks is important. Goals. Needs.
I guess I had planned on presenting you with a small list of my accomplishments. Of course, once a month I do try to send you a note saying what I've done. But yeah, I can provide you guys with a list of the things I'm currently working on and a list of some of the things I'd like to see done. I guess one additional thing to add to that is I don't know how the council wants to operate in regards to retaining me or getting rid of me. You could just ignore a vote and that would be retaining me, then you would have to vote to get rid of me, or you could vote to keep me versus however you want to do it, but something that you guys may want to discuss.
We can discuss that in closed session also.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever the preference is.
Everybody okay?
That's all right.
Sounds good.
Okay, moving on. The deputy treasurer position, I will post that position available for hire starting around the Christmas holiday and hopefully have somebody in that seat by the end of January.
Great. Okay, moving on to action items. As you see, there's quite a large list. A motion to approve Prairie Run preliminary site plan, subject to the recommendations from the city planner.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve Prairie Run preliminary site plan subject to the recommendations of the attorney and engineers. Good.
Is there a second? Okay, discussion. I'll lead off. The original site plan was submitted several months ago and they put it in as a PUD, which it kind of streamlined their processes through the state and the county. But in doing that, it restricts some of their financing abilities for the homeowners. So they resubmitted per their request to do it as a subdivision. And there'll be 31 homes in there. And lots of discussion from the planning commission, and it was all pretty much straightforward. And there were concerns brought up about additional egress to those areas. And with future expansion, which may happen soon, and then in the original design of that was set up for the roads to continue out to egress off of Cedar Springs Avenue or North Main. So for any concerns. And it's all been approved, the retention basin by the county. There was a provision in there that the city or the county or the homeowners would have to take care of the retention basin, stormwater retention. That was struck out to the attorneys, and it would refer to Kent County. And then it could be cleaned and maintained, whatever services would be provided would be imposed on the current 31 lots. So, all that, is there any discussion on that motion that's on the floor?
Mr. Mayor, I would like to just clarify one thing with Ms. Conley's motion. I heard her say the attorneys and the engineers. I didn't know if she meant the planners additionally, or if she meant to exclude them.
I didn't mean to exclude them. I can add that if
Mr. Aventini did have a list of, I think, 5 or 6 suggestions, which I think are appropriate to add to the motion.
Okay, I will amend my motion if the person who seconded me feels so inclined to add the addition of the planner, recommendations of the planner. Who seconded?
I seconded it, but I only get two recommendations. It doesn't say recommendations.
Yeah,
Was that on our
mine's
first?
missing it too.
Yeah.
That's why I added attorney and then,
Well, if you go with the planner underneath what he recommends, it says the other people.
she was just saying it's not on our sheet.
Sure. Sorry. We have had difficulties in the past with me getting the language down that you guys like to see. So I think the first time I put down city manager and this and that, blah, 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 which Mr. Clark objected to, so.
So the two recommendations of,
I said the attorney, the engineers, and I'm amending that to include the city planner. Would the person who seconded it like to support that amendment?
I would support that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion on this motion?
I was sort of winging it.
Mrs. Paul?
I remember in the past, there was quite a big rhubarb about that expansion out there, like Jerry mentioned earlier, continuing to expand and only having egress 2 now. Originally started with 1. Do they have easement to go out anyplace else? Besides, I know there's maybe in the future they can go to Cedar Springs Avenue or something, but keep packing houses in there, and it's going to be difficult if there's a big fire for trucks to get in and out.
Well, with the property surrounding there, we can say the pie in the sky will be expanded and then will be required.
There's a threshold, correct?
Yes, this is the threshold.
This
There's no
is
to
the
expand
threshold.
more than
Right,
we have to. There
so
will be,
House 32,
this is done, there'll be no more expansions in that area until adjacent property is developed, and at that time there will be requirements of additional egress.
Okay, so we got that on the books now.
It's,
well, it's part of the, like, actual
it'll be
law,
the site
right?
plan.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Hopkins? Yes. Mr. Gross?
Yes.
Mrs. Powell?
Yes.
Ms. Conlon?
Yes,
Mr. All votes yes, motion carries. Next item on the agenda for action or motion to approve the following mayoral appointments. And there's quite a list there.
Mr. Mayor, I don't think you have to read all the names.
I'm not.
You can treat this like you can treat this a bit like a consent agenda item if you'd like.
Well, if you people get to look at this and you don't like it,
too bad.
I'm gonna appoint you.
We gotta go find more people.
And these are all individuals who currently serve on our boards, so I don't think they would have any objection.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to accept all of the mayoral appointments that you have presented.
And it was seconded by Mr. Hopkins. Any discussion on any of these individuals or any discussion on the motion?
I have one question on the local government liaison committee. Is this part of the communications thing that you all want me to do, or do we need to do that, again, was that in perpetuity? How does that work? Thoughts, Mr. Womack?
Is that one of the ones I have listed?
Local Government
Very
Liaison
No,
Committee?
it's not.
Hey,
Okay, and that would be our communication.
Yeah, to be completely
Is that
honest,
fine?
I have a list in my office, and I just went down the list to make sure everybody was
Okay.
brought up to
Because
current.
we added that position of
Yeah.
having, so that I could give speeches when the mayor isn't available, or,
I guess that's the council's prerogative, if
Okay.
that's how it's been.
good enough. Because we can do it again, we can call it
Any
something
other
different.
discussions?
I don't care.
Good, so they will change it. Hearing none. Ms. Conlon?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
yes.
Mr. Groves?
Yes.
Mr. Hopkins? Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Hall votes yes, motion carries. Thank you for your support and all these persons that do step up to these boards, because it is quite a arduous process to get people to fill in some of these positions. The library appointment, we have 3 candidates here, and we talked to them, and I would recommend that we appoint Mr. Paul Stark to the library board. Any,
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve your appointment of Mr. Stark to the library board. Mr. Paul Stark to the library board.
any, it's been moved and seconded to appoint Mr. Stark to the library board. Is there any discussion? I have talked to some of these people, some of them I know quite well. I did a lot of research on them, and I feel Mr. Stark would be a great asset to the new library for helping set up classrooms and his teaching experience. And, there's other persons there are very highly qualified also, but, it was a cumbersome process. It took us 3 months or 2 months to get here, and then I think Mr. Stark will be the best bang for the buck.
Mr.
Talk
Mayor,
to Mrs. Clark, and she is very supportive of all these individuals in Mr. Stark. So, having said that, have a roll call vote. Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Hopkins? Yes. Mr. Groves?
Yes.
Mrs. Powell?
Yes.
Mrs. Conlon?
Yes.
Ms. Hall votes yes, motion carries.
I would just like to say it's a testament, Mr. Mayor, to all of the work that you've been doing, that we have so many people signing up to do so much of this work.
It's a nice problem to have. And we also have an individual in the audience this evening that would like to be on the planning commission. Now, we've had conversations, and so that would be my next appointment. We want to, there's some other people stepping up, so I have to do some more research. And thank you for coming. Yes,
If I may,
yes, ma'am.
we do now have 2 individuals who seem interested in serving the city. Would it be appropriate for me to reapproach these individuals and see if we could find other places for them to serve in the city?
Any place we can put them would be highly appreciated. Mr. Hopkins, for all his service that he's done on the planning commission with his growing business now, he has expressed concerns or wishes to step down from the planning commission. So that, in fact, opens up. We have Mrs. Foster's position to fill, and Mr. Hopkins has graciously decided to stay until we can find another person. I just told him this, if you want off, you gotta find somebody. So,
Maybe, Mr. Mayor, we could approach that in January. I'll speak with Mr. Hopkins, see if he would like to stay or go, and then we could find somebody to fill his seat.
I would appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, item B, motion to approve the purchase of a new dump box in the amount of $2,700 from the DPW. This is a budgeted item to put on one of our new trucks, correct, Mr. Stressman?
Yep.
Have we have a window when our new truck will be in, or?
I asked Bernie last week, and he couldn't give me a date yet, but
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the purchase of a new dump box in an amount not to exceed $2,700.
Second. Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
I have one question for Mr. Stressman. You had 3 quotes, 3 varied prices. Are they all comparable?
yeah.
Or are we going strictly on price here?
No, they're all comparable.
Okay.
We do
That's the only question I had.
Thank you. Everybody involved here, I will do a roll call vote. Mr. Gross?
Yes.
Mr. Hopkins? Yes. Mrs. Powell?
Yes.
Mrs. Conlon?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Hall votes yes, motion carried. Good luck. Thank you, Clark.
Good luck.
Well, we gotta get the crowd. Okay, now we have a motion to approve resolution 20-1631, a resolution of declaring a walkable trail and nature reserve park in the city of Cedar Springs. Okay,
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve resolution.
we already have, you second it?
I did.
Okay, thank you.
I
Okay.
made the motion, Perry seconded, okay.
No, Perry needs a motion.
Oh, okay.
I just spit so moved out, because otherwise you'd take it before anybody else gets it.
Oh, now I lose the
Oh, I'm
conversation.
going to go, but anyway.
I'm just trying to move this along.
Ms. Conley, would you like to second Perry's
I'd be
motion?
happy to
Thank you.
second.
Now we've been moved and seconded, now we're in discussion. We need to come up with a name.
Yeah, well, I like the idea of putting it out on the website for suggestions. I told Mr. Womack I'm gonna go walk around it, see if I can feel invite fire.
Great.
Anybody got an idea?
Everybody would like to have like.
Swamplands.
No. I already had a couple of them. Womack's Lane.
I will tell you that Mr. Hall and I did walk up and down it when it was nice and pretty outside. If you'd like to call it the Gerald Hall walk down.
I'd love to have Mrs. Falcon walk through there, we call it Falcon Lane.
We will come up with an appropriate name that is not named after any living individuals. But I think it would be appropriate to come back when we have an appropriate name. Ms. Gerhart, are you?
Yeah, what about something about the trout? Talk about how it's a great place for the trout habitat.
Trout trail?
There's no creek or river, it's too close. It's actually,
Trout trail?
it's just off of Cedar Street.
I know, but
That's a good idea.
creek
So
in
do
the
it.
town is another thing.
Trout will be trail.
Swamp trail?
I would encourage Ms. Gerhart to submit that as an idea for.
I recommend that. Any other discussion on, the motion for our park?
When are we putting that for, on Facebook and website?
I will find a place to put it. There's a website I think called Survey Monkey.
Something like that.
Yep.
That's widely used, and then of course we will advertise on all of our websites.
And on the Facebook thing, you can create a poll on it.
Sure. We'll figure out what's the best and most cost effective.
That's free.
All right,
And that's the end, the most cost effective.
any further discussion? A roll call vote. Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Hopkins?
Yep.
Mr. Groves?
Yes.
Mrs. Powell?
Yes.
Mrs. Conlon?
Yes.
Ms. Hall votes yes, motion carries. That concludes our action items this evening. Communications, Mr. Womack.
The CVTRS and CIP compliance report, that's a Darla Falcon item. I don't know if she'd like to speak about it.
I will stay within 4 minutes, I promise.
We've only got 5 minutes before we're an hour late.
Sure, you know, how much you've gone through this kind of stuff in the past. This document is a new requirement of the Department of Treasury. In the past, cities received statutory revenue sharing. We don't receive statutory revenue sharing anymore. It's reports like this to be more transparent, transparent with, where the city spends the taxpayer dollars, that kind of stuff. By submitting this report by December 1st to Department of Treasury, that will bring in $42,651 to the city of Cedar Springs. So, important report to have submitted on time. I just wanted to go through a couple of pages. The report that I'm used to from the city of Gladstone was much thicker than this one. This is the required information. Kind of the key highlights on page 3. How much is in the general fund balance? Department of Treasury wants to know that number. Where your taxable value is heading, increasing, staying flat, or decreasing. Another important number there. I kind of flip to page 6 then. Revenues. This is just general fund dollars, not streets or enterprise funds. The top source of revenue to many cities, that's your property taxes. And then second is revenue sharing, so which this $42,000 is a piece of that revenue sharing.
Yeah, they took it all away and they gave a piece of it back.
Correct, yes.
They're so generous.
If you
Yeah, isn't that kind of
want me to take the time, I can tell you how much you have lost and will never recoup.
I mean, not
pretty
for now,
astonishing.
maybe at some point. Do you have a ballpark?
No,
Okay.
I did in the city of Gladstone, I haven't looked at that here at all.
Wouldn't do no good if we knew anyway.
No.
Well, but it is nice to be able to make it clear to people just how much money the state has taken away.
When
from
you
local
talk to your,
government.
state legislators or representatives, it's a fact. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
but
not,
thanks for helping me out.
yeah, well. On page 7, lists your expenses there. The top expense for the general fund is the police department. Second is your general government. General government is comprised of pretty much everybody at City Hall, the manager, the clerk, the treasurer, the council, elections, that kind of stuff. And the third is the fire department. So just telling people where we're spending the tax dollars.
And thank you for spending on elections. Watching this stuff in other counties.
Page 8, this is a lot about the pension here for the city of Cedar Springs. MERS has changed their, how they calculate our assets and liabilities for all the money that we've contributed so far and the money that we still have to contribute. Our percent funded actually has decreased. We went from 93% funded as of 12/31/14 down to 87% as of 12/31/15. Being 87% funded, that's phenomenal. Where I come from, 51% funded. So we pay what they say we owe. If the city chooses to pay a little bit more, that's the only way to increase that funding percent. And the market, of course, giving us, a better return.
Did the market take a dive? Is that why it's down?
This is probably still some effect of the market downturn in 2008-9,
Okay.
because everything is smoothed over 10, 15, 20 years.
We put a big capture in there when we.
Page 9 is other post-employment benefits. The city of Cedar Springs does not offer post-employment health insurance, so that's a good thing. So that's zero. Some communities are bonding for what they owe retirees and health insurance. So,
That's one way to
That has to
handle
be
it.
painful.
that was pretty much all I wanted to point out, kind of the highlights.
Thank you, that's probably, we've never had any of that, so.
Oh, yeah, they don't, nobody gives that to us. We
Oh.
haven't gotten it historically.
Yeah, this is required every year by December 1st, so.
Thank you.
Good job, thank you.
It really helps.
Okay, moving on to item D, go ahead. Matt.
We did get some good press from the Advance newspaper, which is either out of Rockford or Grand Rapids, specifically speaking on our art initiative that we talked about last time. I'm currently in discussions with one of the high school art teachers about replacing some of the photographs we have hanging here in City Hall with high school art. And I'm slowly but surely formulating a plan for bringing some more color to Main Street.
I was going to say, more than replacing, could we just add?
We did have 2 photographs that were really kind of falling apart.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're starting to look a little junky. I'm not going to take anything down that looks good,
Yeah.
but those started to look a little junky. So we took them down, and this is what we're planning on putting up in their place.
Thank you.
The Sarah Hendricks request to join Planning Commission. Ms. Hendricks is in the audience if you'd like to speak with her. Ms. Hendricks, would you like to say hi?
Nice to meet you.
So she did submit a letter of intent to me this morning, and so I will present her to you at your January session, and you can appoint her to Planning Commission at that time.
Great, thank you.
The display pack news article is actually in the newspaper today. If you have seen the CS Post, and I will drop a copy off for Vic Hansen tomorrow. But that's also some good press for us. And then the Heart of Cedar Springs video, which we got to earlier today, which I enjoyed watching that. And I have nothing else.
Thank you. Item 10, departmental reports.
Seems like I'm always up first.
Yes, you are, you're number one.
So, Mr. Aventini and I, just this week, were able to finalize the distribution of the master plan. We have a draft copy. It was added to the front page of the website today. So if you go there, it'll be in the upper right-hand corner. That will, we'll be putting a letter out to all the surrounding jurisdictions and all the people who are required to send it to. It's one of those kind of silly things that we have to get the planning commission to approve sending it to you, who will then tell me to send these letters out. So it's ready to go. It's just one of those formalities we're going to have to take care of next month. Dave Ringler has approached me and approached Planning Commission about starting a farmer's market in his parking lot for next summer. I spent about an hour looking at the ordinances and trying to figure out what we'd have to do there. It's a bit convoluted. What I may end up doing is putting an ordinance for you guys to vote on between now and then, which would clarify the situation and make it a little easier to do. I don't think that would be controversial. It's not going to be causing anyone to get arrested or change anything crazy. It would just make it easier for people to put on farmers market if they wish. So I'm going to work with him to see what we can do about that. And, he indicated to me he thought it would be Thursdays, probably in the morning, probably from about 8 in the morning to noonish. He wants to have food carts available in the city for the lunch crowd. And he also indicated that there was a local market, I can't remember which one, but they were shutting down this year so that those people would be available next year for his market. So that was one of
the truth in?
There's a truth in
Oh, I was going to say. Couldn't
he's,
imagine the
no, not Truth Hunt, maybe Plainfield, somewhere local.
Okay.
But he wanted to do that, and that was one of my goals for the city, so if he wants to do the heavy lifting, I'm happy to help him. City email addresses by the new year. I've had 3 city councilors in my office, and 4 today who I've helped give access to their new city email, I guess old city email accounts with new passwords. And Mr. Mayor went through 1,034 messages the other day, catching up for the last 3 or 4 years. But following January 1st, I have no intentions of sending these city government emails to your private accounts. That will stop. So if you have not contacted me, please do so. Otherwise, you will be out of the loop after that date.
Yeah, you'll get 1,000 text emails.
He's gonna send you all the ones he deleted.
Other than that, I guess I just have to thank 2 individuals. Of course, my staff is great, and I try to thank them on a daily basis, but I'd like to specifically thank the clerk, Ms. Newland, who participated in our democracy by going down to county and spending the last couple days counting a lot of ballots, which then turned out to not be worth anyone's time.
Not.
Yeah. So unfortunately, she worked her butt off, and then the court rescinded its own order for whatever reason. But we thank her for the help she does for democracy that day and every day.
Amen.
Also, I'd like to thank Ms. Powell, who again brought me a sandwich and some cocoa-covered nuts of some kind. Almonds. So that was delicious. It helped me survive yet another day.
Just eat them.
I gotta remember to bring you food.
So anytime you want to bring me food, I'm happy to have it. But other than that, Mr. President.
I don't have anything new to add, but may I suggest, for time-saving purposes, that you skip over the fire chief's report?
Duly noted. Officer Kelly.
Then you have is we have this Sunday, Shop the Sheriff, again at Meyer, at 6:30.
Okay.
So if anyone's interested, they have,
Sunday at 6:30?
yep, there's a cruiser parade. That's the one in Cedar Springs is 6:30. So we'll have 20 plus cruisers.
Are you looking for donations?
We will be again. In fact, next week I'll release an article to the Post, same as last year.
Who do you make it up to?
I don't know off the top of my head. I have it written down in there, but it's through our community policing units.
Okay.
So I'll put something together in the Post next week.
Thank you.
But it's really cool if you've never seen it.
So
I went
this
last year.
Sunday, it's
This Sunday.
This Sunday.
This Sunday at 6:30 at Peter King Meyer. So we use our school resource officers to vet the selected
Candidate.
kids and candidates, and
Great.
so
It's a wonderful, I went last year and oh,
it's awesome. Yeah, it really is. So,
Thank you. Passing. Mr. Fraser.
You have your packet that I sent, I give you a flyer. If you want questions, I will have a little more next month.
Great.
Other than that, I'm good.
Also, we have our fire barn committee meeting next Wednesday.
Fire relocation committee, 6 o'clock, Wednesday the 14th at the fire station. It'll be real brief, real impromptu, and we're gonna toss some ideas across the table to each other. And we can update council after that meeting.
Thank you. Thank you.
so excited
Thank you.
for that to move forward.
Madam Clerk.
Okay, just a quick little recap. I have done the recount for the last 2 days, that has been canceled. I just wanted to report that our precinct matched our numbers. We were recountable and everything was spot perfect. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. And that is not only the hard work of the election workers, but everyone involved in the election as well. I did want to let you know that there is a possible display pack IT application coming in. We have not received that yet, but it is possible that we may receive that. Also, there is news that there may be a possible election in May for a KISD millage. I don't know any more about it. As far as just it may be coming. So, as I know more, I'll let you know. Something to keep in mind in the back of your head, the MML Elected Officials Academy is February 17th and 18th in Frankenmuth. I will provide you guys with information at the next council meeting, but I just wanted to let you know that date is coming. Mr. Gross has received a scholarship for that, and he will be attending. So look forward to that in January.
Yes. At our last MML training session, Mr. Gross' name was brought out of the hat for a free conference in Frankenmuth, so he gets to eat Zinder chicken.
It wasn't anything I earned, they just had to give it to me.
Earned it.
And thank you, by the way, for sending us to that training. Mr. Gross and Mayor Hall and myself attended, and
It was great.
and Ms. Powell attended, and
It's my understanding the academy is additional teaching about the data which you received already.
It gives you credentials or CEC toward your MML recognition.
Sure. And
also, isn't there some online options?
It is.
Yes.
Could someone like give that to me?
Or the MML.
MML website?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if I could just piggyback real briefly. I had talked with Mr. Clark about the Citizen Planner course, which is the course I plan on taking to advance our knowledge in the area of planning and zoning. And I'm attending the MME Winter Institute. That'll be at the end of January.
Yes, this planner training course is a very high intensive course, and if the council members or someone wishes to go, it's part of our training budget, so so. And any other future MML courses you wish to take.
I think it's rolling startup dates, so you can start it. I think it's an online.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can check with MML on any of these courses. They have a vast amount available.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or contact the city manager.
Yes.
Okay.
Madam Clerk, do you have any other information for us?
No.
Thank you. And the Finance Director, Ms. Faulkner.
December 1st, mailed out the winter tax bills.
Very good.
Still doing a little bit of catch-up from when nobody was here for a couple months, and preparing for calendar year-end, W-2s, 1099s, that kind of stuff.
And I understand we have an audit in process.
Our audit is completed. They were here a full week. It went very well. We were able to find all the documents they were looking for, and
Wonderful.
Excellent.
the report is due to the state of Michigan by December 31st, so they will process that for us. We'll bring you a hard copy in January, and the auditor will be here to go through with the highlights of the audit.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
code
Make it a
enforcement,
split list.
any questions? Building inspection report. And then we have the board information minutes from the DDA, the CDBT, and the library board. No questions? At this point of the meeting, we're at council comments. Mr. Clark.
First of all, I would like to say that my email works. I tried it again today, so thank you, Mr. Womack. We're back in there. And I want to thank Tom and Mr. Womack for helping with the video. I was afraid we wouldn't have any sound, and it would have been very disappointing for Marge and for Wayne Weed, I think, if it hadn't had that. So thank you very much for sticking with it. And last of all, real trivia, Cedar Springs trivia, going back. I happened to run into Sheriff Stelma at White Creek Lumber last weekend. We were chatting about Camelback Dairy.
Yeah.
It's still there, backs up pretty close to his property out there where they're building the new houses. He said that he was talking to another Christmas tree grower several years ago, and he informed there used to be 17 liveries, if I'm remembering the number right, 17 liveries in Cedar Springs. And when the horses died, they buried them at Camelback.
Oh, dear.
Now, don't ask me why, but if they're going to be digging out there for this,
Buyer beware.
look out.
That is an interesting thing.
There you go. I'm done.
Ms. Powell.
I just wanted to say I enjoyed seeing that Evelyn Cossing's Christmas tree lit up again this year. And she was a dear person and really enjoyed the Christmas. And I miss her. She really was a great-hearted person. Kind of hard-headed too, but anyway, happy Christmas to everybody, and hope you have a good New Year too. I probably won't see everybody, but I love this town. Just love it. Great place to live.
Thank you.
Ms. Conlon.
Thank you to the Chamber of Commerce and the Red Flannel Tree Farm and the Red Flannel Festival, and I'm sure I'm forgetting someone, for all of the Santa Claus festivities and making Santa feel so welcome. I have a 9-year-old who's really glad we did such a nice job of welcoming Santa.
You look like you're having a good time.
He was having a great time. So thank you for having Santa come to town, and I'm excited that that is becoming a bigger thing, and I hope that it continues to grow, and thank you to everybody that participated in that, and thank you to our staff for just continuing to make us look good, for making the water run and be safe, for making it so people can vote and their votes get counted, for making us know where the money is, for showing up when there's a fire, because that doesn't happen everywhere. It doesn't. And it always happens here. So, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Rose.
I'd like to thank Sarah for her volunteering. Welcome to the club. All of us have a weak moment at some point in time where we're volunteering. Later on, we wonder why we did it. But season's greetings to all of you, and hopefully things carry on and progress the way they have been.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. Mr. Hopkins.
I'll piggyback on where he said, don't let their hairdo discourage you. That's not all from volunteering.
It helps, right?
Maybe you shouldn't have looked over at her.
That's why you're supposed
I'm just starting to wonder whether it's including me or not.
I was going to say, and is her comment
I
in
think
here?
he was only referring to bookends here, that's all.
I was to the volunteering, I said.
Oh, okay.
Then also on what Pam was saying, everybody did love Santa Claus. One of the biggest ones was that something caught Santa's eye and he turned away and this little kid got to say, hey, I'm talking to you. What the heck?
He was a really good Santa, by the way. He was a good Santa.
So I was like going through some of the pictures when I posted this, like how can you not have a good time with that?
It was.
So I want to thank all the people that made that happen, Tom and his people for cutting the tree down and bringing it to us, and making sure it stood up. And Sergeant County.
Beautiful tree.
for making the parade, and Marty and his guys for being there. And I was hoping I was going to see them fight over who gets to lead the horses back. First, Marty said he was going to do it, and Jason says, "Oh, I'm going to do it." I'm like, "Well, fight over who gets to."
No, we didn't fight, so he let him back. Jason had bullets.
Good point.
Yeah, but I think that hosier's got a little more pressure. You get it out there fast.
His bullets got a little more range.
No, but he doesn't have to be as dead on with the hose.
Okay,
But anyway.
thank you.
Are you saying Mr. Kelly isn't a good shot?
I got a lot of rounds.
I bet you do.
But I also want to thank the council members that showed up. I think this is the first time we've had 5 out of 7 council members.
Thank you.
But if you didn't get enough Christmas, we got Christmas again this weekend at the Kent Theater.
Yep.
They have 2 different, well, there's a radio program, and there's a readers program, there's a concert, and a dance extravaganza.
Okay.
There's a lot more activities, and if you tune in at the post, there's a list of all these great activities in this community. And I piggyback on the rest of the counselors. It's a great time. Things are really expanding. Christmas is coming, and we have a lot to be thankful for. And this community is a great community, and we'll see all you folks next year, if not sooner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Adjourned.